this is just, it's not so much for physics, but it's just so you understand what's going on in your house. Short circuit something. That means you're getting a circuit with a really low resistance, which then causes the current to be really large. Remember, R is equal to V over I. So if R is really, really small, that means I is going to be really, really big. Okay? One of the ways that you can short circuit things is to plug multiple surge protectors into a single outlet. Surge protectors, you know, those long bars that have the multiple places. You don't want to plug multiple surge protectors into a single outlet, and you don't want to plug surge protectors into each other. When I was in college, we would have fire inspections, and they would actually come and look and see that we only had one surge protector per outlet and that we didn't plug surge protectors into each other. If we did, we were given a violation, and then they would come back later to see if we were then complying with the rules. Just a short little metal piece. You can see these are different types of fuses that you may have seen in your house. And these are just little tiny pieces of metal that melt when a large current passes through it. And that's what's causing the short circuit. These are melting, and so then it shorts the circuit, which basically prevents a fire. So if something had short circuited, that means that the fuse melted, and the fuse melted in order to prevent a fire. So it's either that or a fire. So short circuiting is not too bad. And so sometimes you have to go change the fuse, or you have to reset the fuse box. And so another type of safety valve we have in our houses is a circuit breaker. Our circuit breaker is in the garage, but sometimes it's in the laundry room or other places for people, but it's that gray box on the wall that you open, and it has all these different fuses in it. And basically the circuit breaker, if you trip the circuit breaker, it will open the circuit, and it's going to keep the current from getting too big. So there's some sort of maximum current that the circuit breaker allows. And once you go above that maximum current, you're going to trip the circuit breaker, and then you'll have to reset it. It's basically trying to tell you that you've overloaded the circuit, or there's a short circuit somewhere, and you need to fix the problem. Just flipping the circuit breaker is not going to solve your problem. You need to figure out whether you've overloaded the circuit or where the short circuit is. Just flipping the circuit breaker is not a solution to the problem. And then there's another thing that we have in our houses, and they're called ground fault interrupters. And you see these outlets in bathrooms and in kitchens. We have them in the lab at each lab table. It never fails, as students will say, my whatever doesn't work that they've plugged into the outlet. Usually it's those crazy machines that we have for measuring acceleration, and they go, those really loud, annoying machines, and they plug them into the wall, and they don't work. And that's because this has been tripped, and you just have to push in the red button, and then it'll work again. I think in the lab, though, they're not red. I think they're white. So basically, these can detect small differences in current, so you're not going to get too much. And it will open the circuit. Okay, it's going to open your circuit right here. And then if your circuit is open, the current can't pass through, and it's basically, again, it's protecting you from a fire. A lot of times people trip these with their curling irons or straightening irons, or I'm trying to think of the word, hair dryer. I don't know why it took so long for me to think of that. So again, when you trip this, something's going on, and you need to figure out what's going on and try and fix it.